Girls and women have a right to be equal everywhere.
In every country and in every aspect of life.
Yet girls and women face discrimination and exclusion in every country in the world,
which holds everyone back.
But people around the world are fighting for fairness.
Combating stereotypes,
building inclusive systems,
supporting women's economic opportunity,
fighting for health equity,
and defending voting rights and legal protections for women around the world.
We won't stop
until we achieve equality
for all girls and all women,
wherever they are.
Let the world know you stand with the champions and change makers
working to ensure girls and women are equal everywhere.
Join us in candid discussions
with those on the front line of this fight
in our discussion series, Champions for Change.
Champions for Change.
And follow along using @UN Foundation, #EqualEverywhere.
Hello, and welcome to Who Builds It? Constructing New Opportunities for Women and the World, a conversation that is part of our 2022 Equal Everywhere discussion series. I'm Michelle Mulford Morse, Vice President for Girls and Women's Strategy at the United Nations Foundation. Although careers in the skilled trades workforce provide high starting wage levels, steady job growth, and high entrepreneurial potential, we know that women continue to be drastically underrepresented in this field. In fact, in the US, women comprise fewer than 10% of the skilled trade workforce, and stereotypes and stubborn norms continue to hold women back from accessing these career opportunities. Today, I'm joined in conversation with two women who are leaders in the trades. Tabitha Gomez, president of Hand Tools, Accessories, and Storage Group at Stanley Black & Decker, and Shelley Halstead, founder and executive director of Black Women Build Baltimore. We're going to pick up our shovels and dig deeper into why this gap persists and what solutions exist to help close it. We'll also chat about Shelley's inspiring work, which is proudly supported by Stanley Black & Decker. Today, we are thrilled to discuss what's possible. Tabitha, I read an article about you cutting 2x4s and putting up drywall and your desire to help your young son identify and reject boring stereotypes. And these two things are linked. I understand your career trajectory is one that started in a heavily female-dominated industry, cosmetics, and now finds you in what many would still view as a male-dominated industry. So talk to us about the perceptions of women in this field, from the trades to being an executive, and why it is important to change our expectations about women in the skilled trades.
Well, Michelle, I think there are perceptions of people in every field. The trades or any male-dominated industry can be seen as a place where women don't belong. But this is not accurate, and we need to change this. For me, moving from cosmetics to tools, I entered an industry that had long belonged to men. But I also joined a company that was committed to diversity, equity, and inclusion, and that made all the difference. We have a saying at Stanley Black & Decker that success for women means success for everyone, and we embody that statement. I recently took the role of president of Hand Tools, Accessories, and Storage. And if you would have told me 10 years ago that I would be leading a team of individuals that design the tools for tomorrow, that create the tools, that build communities around the world, I might not have believed you, but here I am. This work makes a difference. So I am so proud to be part of this industry and to be breaking down stereotypes for women around the world. What we are doing at Stanley Black & Decker to focus on gender equity needs to happen for women in every industry, especially the trades. Now it's time to break down those barriers because there is an influx of opportunity. There are more than 400,000 construction jobs open in the US alone, and 10 million manufacturing jobs unfilled worldwide. But women, like you said earlier, make up only 10% of the skilled trades. This is the opportunity. There's an opportunity for women to excel in these well-paying jobs. Our economy and our world are dependent on this highly skilled workforce. That's why Stanley Black & Decker is so passionate about helping to close this gap in the trades. So last year, we launched a $25 million commitment to train more than 3 million skilled trade workers, especially diverse populations, women, people of color, and veterans. This is a passion for our company, but a necessity for the world.
I love hearing that. And you're right, these gaps exist in all kinds of industries, but I love that you're trying to tackle this one specifically. Shelley, as founder of Black Women Build Baltimore, you're directly addressing this very challenge. Can you describe the inspiring work you're doing?
Yeah, so Black Women Build Baltimore is a home ownership and wealth building initiative that trains Black women in carpentry, electrical, and plumbing. And we do that by restoring vacant and deteriorated houses in Baltimore. And then once complete, the women have the opportunity to buy them. So from drywall in, we're doing it all. And they're learning, I mean, every skill that you possibly could imagine in basically refurbishing a home. So that's super exciting.
Shelley, I want to join one of your crews because your work is yielding a triple benefit. You're training women are getting homeownership. It's like a supercharged economic jolt. So what inspired you to launch this effort?
Yeah, I think for me, it was really trying to put together a skill set that I had in order to be useful. I come from a history of people that really want to help other people out. And so as a carpenter, I'm a carpenter by trade, and I had gone to law school and decided that office work wasn't actually my cup of tea. And so I decided to start this nonprofit, right? In a city that has so much potential, the people have so much potential, and there's just an opportunity to build together in all the ways you just mentioned. It's a triple threat.
It is a triple threat. Mm-hmm. Tabitha, you've said change is critical. We need change, but I would just love to hear more about what's possible and how do we get there?
Well, Michelle, the key really is to change that narrative. Because of socialized ideas of what some call women's work or men's work, many women will never be exposed to what would be considered careers traditionally pursued by men, like the trades. As a society, we need to flip that script. We need to challenge the status quo and the conscious and the unconscious biases that exist and open people's minds to opportunities. The hammer and the drill don't care who uses them and if you're male or female. The capability is there for everyone. The change needs to come from perception. And this will happen through education about opportunities available in the trades, but also through the power of role models like Shelley, who show women every day what they can accomplish in the skilled trades. We need people that are inspiring and empowering to help demystify this work.
That's right. The power drill and the hammer, they do not care. So Shelley, tell me then, what do you hope to see about women in the trades 10 years from now? What do you hope it looks like then?
You know, I was on a job, the last union job I was on, I had a foreman who was a woman. I worked with two other women carpenters and a Black woman who was an apprentice. We had one male on the job, and we set 20 stories of cabinets and countertops. And that's what I want to see. I want to rewind back to when that was happening, because what that showed is that it's possible that we can do the job and do it well. And I think, just as Tabitha said, we need to demystify it, and we need to help women get in those roles and see people that look like us doing that work.
Absolutely. Tabitha, what do you hope it looks like in 10 years?
I just want to build on what Shelley said. We do need people, we need women that can do this job and do it well. And right now there is an opportunity because we're at this interesting moment in time that some have termed the Great Resignation. People are leaving their jobs for more satisfying and meaningful work. According to Stanley Black & Decker's Makers Index survey, 93% of skilled trade workers report high job satisfaction. So this is the opportunity. Could be where we see the change in the trades, particularly for women. I am hopeful that in 10 years, women are working in manufacturing, in construction, in job sites, and that's the norm rather than the exception. I am hopeful that we will be living in a world that's much more equitable and inclusive, where we don't have to tell our children what stereotypes are because they don't exist. We can all change this narrative together. So let's flip that script because success for women means success for everyone.
Yeah, it does. Well, thank you, Tabitha and Shelley, for joining our discussion today. We're so grateful to have you with us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for taking the time to listen to us. We're very passionate about this topic.
And thank you, our audience, for watching this part of our Champions for Change discussion series. The fight continues, the conversation continues, and we hope you will continue the dialogue at home, at work, and online using #EqualEverywhere. Thank you.